What's up, y'all? It's TryTube and welcome back to Cool Town. There is a hell of a lot of stuff to go through, so let's do it. Well, nothing official has come out. Many people have been speculating about Scarlet and Violet, and of course, Riddler Coup has returned to tease some more things. You know, whether you like him or not, he brought so much climax into that reveal trailer in June. All the speculation about the legendary, even if no one figured it out, it got people thinking in a certain direction before the reveal, and that's always the best thing. So before we get to Cool, let's go down the road of many thoughts. So the first thing is Pokemon confirmed, of course, that this game can be played in whatever direction you want. We could go to what would normally be like the 7th gym right after you get the starter, which raises a whole can of worms, but I won't get into that now. And so Pokemon fans are hyped because this thing from Pokemon Origins, when Brock is like, oh, you only got one badge, suck, I'm using 2 Pokemon. It's real. This game, the same way Sword and Shield brought value to the gym leaders properly, this game's gonna actually bring value to the gym leaders and showing that they are strong trainers. So one cool idea for how this game could work, because you can play it in any direction, is that it's just a bunch of self-contained stories. So imagine there are 12 locations on the map. Each location has its own story that probably leads to a gym or some involvement with the evil team, and you do it in whatever order you want. That's probably how it works. Oh, and then of course we have the Giga Chad memes. I never thought that when I first saw him. I never saw this man and decided to put the weird music over it. I wonder who first came up with this meme. Well, in other news, in terms of stuff that's official, Pokemon, if we paid close enough attention, registered a lot of the trademarks on May 30th. They registered Pamo, which is Pami in Japanese, Glutton for Lechonk, Koraidon, Miraidon. No one would know to look. But Game Freak gotta be extra sneaky and only register them like the day before they drop their trailer. Here's them registering the Scarlet and Violet logos. Damn, did no one catch this? Next up is a theory about who the evil team in this game is. Obviously, they haven't showed it in the trailer. It will come in a future trailer. But there's something wrong with the way they introduced the professors. Like, the professor, they don't need to put this much work into it. They don't need to split it into 2 versions, design whole different outfits. They just need to throw a typical professor in an outfit, make them say the intro dialogue or her, and leave it. The fact that they put so much work into the professor makes me think that they're gonna be used for more later on. And as soon as I saw that their outfits actually match the legendaries, it brought up the idea that maybe they're the evil team leaders, which is why Game Freak has this work put into them. Maybe she appeared here from the past, which is like a Flintstones theory. What, she's like 8,000 years from the past, and this man is like 8,000 years from the future, and somehow they ended up in this current time period. And maybe they came with the legendary, and that's how Koraidon and Miraidon is in our time right now. In that case, maybe you legit befriend their legendary in the beginning of the game. So I don't know how that would lead to them being evil. But anyhow, when Twitter Gaming, oh frick, I muted them. When some memester at Twitter Gaming tweets, "What do they do for a living? Wrong answers only," Pokemon tweets, they're professors? Now, there are 2 answers to this. Either this account is run by someone who had whooshed over, or nah. Saka, this is a memester too. Wrong answer for who these guys are, the Pokemon professors. So this led people to theorizing that maybe they kidnapped the real professor and they're pretending to be it. Who knows? But what I don't get is, how does the person who runs Pokemon know about the game? Don't they just got like a social media manager? Tweet this, tweet about this. We got different social media managers for the different languages. They're told what to tweet, and then they have some liberty. That's what I thought. For them to tweet this, trying to tease that these guys are the evil villains, they would have to know stuff about the games. Thanks for the translation. This would be the first time we are working with the evil team for the whole game until we find out they're evil, if it turns out that's the case. Pokemon is pretty memey nowadays anyway. They made a whole Rick roll for Bidoof. I'm sure they're up to date with the memes, even more than I am. This joke did not go over their head. For some reason, they tweeted this. In other news, my boy Toby Fox, creator of Undertale, has a deeper role in designing music for this game. In Sword and Shield, he designed the optional battle tower music. Now, he actually composed the music you hear in the trailers. This man has worked his way up. I can't believe it. Great to have you back. You too, Pokemon. When do you guys want me? I get no hugs around here. In other news, Pawmi. Pawmi is the Pikachu of this generation, and the way Pawmi looks, just a little too different from the other Pikachu clones. You know, he's gained weight, but he has this potential thickness in him. People think that maybe Pami, when it evolves, will be the incarnation of Gorochu, reborn, which Gorochu is what Raichu was supposed to evolve into, early scrapped ideas. This is more or less what Gorochu is gonna look like. They think Pami's gonna become Gorochu. Not actually Gorochu, but what Gorochu was supposed to be. Anyhow, the legendaries, right? You wanna imagine how they look like when you're riding them? Here's some fan art by Start Boy. This is insane. First off, the man is naked. That's a girl. Koraidon. He actually looked badass to ride him like that. I can't believe Game Freak did this. They made this badass looking legendary and made him a motorcycle. Now obviously Miraidon, he doesn't look like he touches the ground. Even though he got a wheel looking thing, he's just floating around. I'm gonna cut it there and we'll go to Ku now. So if we go to Ku's Twitter, Ku has just been having fun. Ku has seen Koraidon and Miraidon for probably months now, and he was telling us how much more he liked Miraidon. Here's one of his reasons: LED eyes. But let me take it down the Ku timeline. So it's been about 10-ish days since the trailer comes out, and Ku is asked on Twitter by you should never have spoken. I rather have not have known about this. Hey Mr. Ku, do you know if Sprigatito will be bipedal or quadrupedal? Ku don't even take a moment. It stands up. The dude is a leopard, is he not? I've never seen a standing leopard. I think at this point, Pokemon, maybe it's been successful for them to turn the starters into mascot looking things. It seems Pokemon, like 90% of the time, are just gonna make them stand up in humanoid. Humanoid is not bad. It could be badass at times, but I think Pokemon fans just miss the normal evolution. So if they mix both back and forth, then they won't hate the humanoid ones as much. But this man's gonna stand. I think I saw some cool art of Sprigatito standing. Oh no, this is him on fours. See, this takes you back to older Pokemon designs. It almost feels too foreign for them to do now. This is sort of the kind of things people wanted. Anyhow, don't cry too much. I'm sure they'll make a good design. Okay, anyhow, remember when he tweeted the 4 things he's willing to talk about? Objectmon, Waifumon, Regional Variant, and Starters? Well, he decides, I'm gonna talk about the Objectmon. Yeah, you gotta follow the train now. I don't even know what an Objectmon is. Is it like a waifu? Did you objectify it? Or is that something else? I know the waifu is a separate thing. I think Objectmon would be like a Magnemite-like thing. But I guess he'll tweet about that later. So after the trailer comes out, Ku tweets that he'll drop something about Smoliv. Some information. Cool. No one actually cares. I think I could go about my day without learning about Smoliv, but hit me. He says that when Smoliv evolves, it will be in the Waifumon League. But it's not the waifu Pokemon. Just waifu-like. I don't get it, bro. What is a waifu Pokemon? Some people think Vaporeon is one. Some people think Leavanny is one. This freaking terrifies me. Many are curious about the waifus. At least 4 waifumons exist in Scarlet and Violet. From what I know, Fur Fetish, Plant Fetish, Lolly Fetish, and Hardcore Queen Fetish. The main waifu is... Hey Ku, is there a cool new Fishmon? Yep. It's like I could have answered that for you. What gen don't got a fish? But apparently it's a cool fish. Ku also confirms stuff like this is fake. So if you like this design, it's not real. Interesting how you didn't flat out deny the return of Megas on purpose. Megas are not returning, bro. He's just having a laugh. June 11th comes around and Ku tweets, want to know design motives of starters final stages? We'll answer it on 30th of June. This sucker's got a schedule. Also, after this, I will never tease the other 2 until release. So essentially, he's had us vote on which starter he'll talk about the final release for. Now, sucker, you already told us Sprigatito stands up. Ain't no one gonna vote for it. Is what I thought. So I voted Quaxley. And half the people, look how many people voted Sprigatito. It looks like Fuecoco won. So in about 2 weeks, he's gonna tell us what the theme of Fuecoco is. I guess the equivalent would be like a magician for Fennekin's final evolution. So we'll hear what Fuecoco's is. And you know no one can keep a secret in this world. So immediately after, he just leaks. By the way, battle-wise, Grass is the strongest because of its god-hidden ability, but I haven't seen the move pool, so you know. Saka, did you not just say you will never talk about the others? This is a little unprecedented. In Gen 6, the strongest ability was in Greninja with Protean, and in Gen 8, the strongest was with Cinderace with his own Protean, Librarian. This time, the Grass type is actually the alpha. Seemingly. Listen, an ability is what can sometimes screw up Pokemon. Delphox, if it just had a sick ability, would probably be used by a lot more people. Grass types usually never get the spotlight, so this is pretty cool. With July starting in 2 weeks, Ku says his theme for the next month is characters. A fun theory is that the professors are the evil team leaders in this region, so it'll be cool to see if Game Freak and Ku reveal like a fake leader for the evil teams, so you never suspect the professor. Anyhow, to end it off, well, 2 things. Check this out. Is this fake? He asks Riddler Ku with no response. Crap doesn't leak in magazines anymore. It's fake. But man, if that ain't a hell of a design for an evolution. But the real cool thing is apparent leak of Sprigatito's final evolution. This is what we'll end it with. Get ready to have your minds blown. Here he is. There it is. Oh, look at that. The watermark on the camera. Just the essence of leak. Illegal photo. All right, so in this photo we got the background, which seems to be at the school, and here is our standing up Sprigatito. It checks the boxes. It's not a bad design at all. I mean, obviously I'd want it on all 4s, but it seems like a pretty kick-ass design. I mean, listen, we know it's standing up, okay? You know how much worse it could be? Dude's got the cape. It kind of reminds me of like a grass Blaziken. But oh, we can go one step further. You ready? Gameplay. Oh yeah. Now the original tweet with this video is deleted, but here's a recapture. My guy kind of floats up and down, cape waving in the wind. Now there have been all kinds of speculations for this thing, like maybe it's using Obstacoon's model, maybe it's too simple of an animation for it to be real. I don't think it's real. The only thing I can say is the fact that it's a short clip and that it's a clip of the easiest possible animation you could make for it. You know, it's not in the middle of using a move. It seems like it'd be fake. What do you think of this? I think more or less, this is probably what Sprigatito's final form will look like, even if this is fake. Didn't Sprigatito's third have a waifu look to it? Ku did apparently say he would choose Sprigatito because of fetish. What? And if you remember, Ku did say there were 4 waifus in this game. I'm not going through them again. Is this waifu? I don't know if this is... I guess this is waifu material? How do we determine this? If it breeds, it's a waifu. That might be the case. Fun stuff has leaked in the past. We had obviously the Alola starters leak way early on, and it turned out to be real. And then we also had this, Fake or Not You Decide, another pick of Greninja. I remember when this was leaked. It was like within 2 weeks of XY coming out, 2 different photos of Greninja came out. This is not close to the release at all. Well, I'm gonna call it quits here. Go on and shank that like button, guys. Do you think it's real? I'll see you on the next video when we got some more information. Peace.
Bitch, I'm a pro.